As many families start half term, I'm in the holiday resort of Whitby in North Yorkshire to learn all about explorer Captain Cook and how the Christian history of this abbey impacted on the whole world. Welcome to Songs of Praise. Also in the programme, I spend a day at St Hilda's Priory here in Whitby and learn about St Hilda herself.
I think that she actually unified the church.
Josie Darby joins a Christian giving free half-term meals to children and their families.
I think God's always given me a heart for children, and He's always given me a heart to feed children.
And we hear how Captain Cook lived out Quaker values in his life at sea.
There was such an air of religious observance on board his ships that it was as if every day was Sunday.
Our music this week mostly comes from churches in the north of England, but we start in the Midlands, in Nottingham, with a lively hymn that many of us know and love from our school days. One More Step. The coastal resort of Whitby is a beautiful place to visit, and overlooking the town is the ancient abbey.
Do you know, there's something very spiritual and godly here. In fact, some people call it a thin place. And what they mean by that is that the line between heaven and earth is very thin.
Whitby Abbey is full of Christian history. In the 7th century, the Synod of Whitby chose to follow Roman Christian practice rather than Celtic. That led to the reason why Easter moves every year, usually the first Sunday following a full moon after the spring equinox.
So we've Whitby Abbey to thank for the constantly changing date.
Whitby also gave us Captain James Cook, the explorer who travelled the world. And to hear more about his background, I'm meeting author Vanessa Collingridge.
So Cook would have known this place really well. This is the house where he lived as an apprentice. So this would have actually been his home. He slept upstairs in the attic and he would have known these rooms extremely well. Cook signed on here with two brothers, John and Henry Walker, as an apprentice for 3 years to learn his trade as a sailor.
Though he was baptised an Anglican, Cook would have been strongly influenced by the Quakers of Whitby, many of whom were involved in shipping.
Within 4 years of the Quaker faith being established, it took hold within Whitby, and by 1676, Whitby had its own Society of Friends meeting house here. Unfortunately, now it's been turned into a restaurant, but it still survives as a building. And Quakers made very good business people. They kept excellent records. They were renowned for their honesty and their business integrity. You can really see those values in the design and the decoration of this room. It's very simple. It's pared down. The colours are muted and very functional. It's here for a purpose. And that was embodied in the way Cook also lived his career as well. That attention to detail, but detail with a function, a bigger purpose than just vanity or design and decoration for fashion's sake. Those values, I think, really entered Cook in a very profound way during this time and affected his conduct really for the rest of his life.
Cook would go on from Whitby to sail around the world, exploring the Pacific Ocean, Australia, New Zealand and Antarctica.
I mean, it just strikes me that it must have taken real courage to have a real sense of adventure, to go off on a journey and not know when you would return, if you would return.
You only need to give a cursory look at Cook's career to see the bravery, the utter focus towards his goal. In his words, he wrote about himself, "Ambition drives me further than any other man has gone before, perhaps as far as it's possible for a man to go." He pushed himself to his utter limits with such drive and commitment. I think those values are, frankly, remarkable.